Hey guys, this is Megan at Meghan Grace DIY. Today I was working on a small project and I thought it would be a really good idea to just kind of show you the way I figured out to make the most comfortable type of band for child's masks. Now, the project that I'm working on is actually a birthday present for my nephew who turns 12 this weekend, and I'm making him 5 masks along with a couple other presents that I'm mailing his way. But over the past 6 months, when we were first all making masks, it was kind of like, who's got the best way? And I'd watch other videos and say, let me try that. And, some things works and some things don't. And especially when we were all frantic for elastic, we would get this awful elastic and pretend it wasn't uncomfortable under our ears. So, here we are 6-7 months later. I think I've gotten a pretty good system down when it comes to doing children's masks. And one of the most important things to remember is it has to be comfortable. If it's not a comfortable mask, the child's not going to wear it. They're going to want to rip it off. They're going to want to, they're just going to get cranky about having it on. And, you've got 3 people here who are all very stressed. You've got your parent who's stressed, you've got your child who's stressed, and then you've got your teacher who's stressed. So this is where I am in terms of doing children's masks. I'm sure there's a lot of other ways that you can do it. You can do masks with ties, you can do masks that wrap around the back of the head, but I'm going to share with you today the conclusion that I came to. Now, first things first, the type of elastic. This right here, this is 5mm wide elastic. This is what I use for adult masks. Does this work for kids' masks? Yes, but I think a little bit of a thinner elastic is a little bit more comfortable for them. So I'm just going to put this aside. I wanted to be able to compare it. I use for kids' masks, I've been using a 3mm wide elastic. Now, again, I have friends, I have relatives with kids, and I don't have kids of my own, but I've gotten a lot of feedback from them, and anytime I've sent them masks, I've been like, hey, do they like it? Do they keep it on? What do they complain about? So that way I can kind of take that information and, use it to make the masks better. So the biggest thing is making sure that the elastic is adjustable. Because when you try to get it exactly right on the first try and you haven't seen the kid, you're mailing the mask to them, it's really hard. It's hard to make sure you get the fit correct. And if the fit's not correct, they're definitely not going to keep it on. So anyway, we've got this thin elastic. This is a mask that's done. This is actually a adult small, just because, like I said, my nephew's turning 12, so he's not a little kid anymore. And I used to use these guys right here, and they're these thick, cord locks, and I quickly found out kids do not like these. They're very heavy behind the ear. They're not comfortable, so I use these for other things now, but I don't use them for masks. But what I did find was I found these little plastic guys. It's got a big end and a small end. I found them on Etsy, and I'll link them below. And they're surprisingly easy to attach. So here I am with my mask done. I've got my casings on the side, and I've got my elastic already through the casing. I'm going to pull this through just to show you. I did sew the elastic closed, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to slide that back into the casing. Now, to attach the adjuster, you are going to need a needle and thread. It doesn't need to be knotted. You're not actually sewing anything. You're just using this to get the adjuster on. I am going to go into the adjuster in the small end, like this, going through. I'm coming over to my loop. I am going to pinch through this. Now don't let this end go through. I want to keep it there. I'm going to go back through the hole, like so. So I'm going to hold this up close just so you can kind of see what's going on. There we go. So I've got my elastic here, I've got my thread looped, and I've got my adjuster here. So I'm going to hold my adjuster with my fingers. I'm going to pull, and see, it'll pull it through for you. If you try to shove that elastic through on your own, it's going to be a giant pain. So this just makes it a whole heck of a lot quicker. And then I can be done with my needle. Now, the other thing that you might be worried about is these are very small. So if you have a smaller child, you could be worried it's a choking hazard, or just the fact it might come off and you might lose it. So what I'd recommend is pushing all the way to the end. Push this to the side so we have a nice clear view. I'm pushing it all the way to the end. I'm gonna do a little loop-de-loo, and I'm gonna tie a knot there, okay? And then I can go ahead and I can push all the way to the end, and it won't come off. And you've still got plenty of elastic for your child to be comfortable. For whatever reason, 10 inches, I did this as a 10-inch loop. 10 inches isn't enough, cut more, but I did 10, I think that's plenty. And this mask is all ready to go. So once it goes on to my nephew, we can adjust this very easily. It's not heavy, they're nice and soft, it's thin elastic, so it'll be nice and comfortable for him. And that's basically it. That's how I've been making sure I can make my child masks adjustable. And before I sign off, I do want to mention one thing. I was editing my last video and I was like, oh my gosh, my ironing board is a mess. And I had just bought that ironing board a couple months ago. So I immediately went on Amazon and ordered a new ironing board cover. And I promise that I will try to just, keep it in my brain. My brain's been so scattered lately, to keep it in my brain that you don't want to look at a dirty ironing board when you're watching my videos, and make sure I update my ironing board cover and wash it as needed. But I was a little embarrassed. I was like, wow, that's really, really, really dirty. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little tip. I hope back to school is going great for everybody. Back to school is absolutely insane for me, and I just kind of feel tired all the time, but I'm working through it. And I know there is an end point at the end of the tunnel. So stay tuned for more videos. If you like my content, please feel free to hit that subscribe and the notify button. I'm currently at 7,000 subscribers, which is insane. And I have a goal to hit 10,000 by Christmas. So it'd be a really nice little, Christmas, New Year's present to me to hit 10,000 subscribers. And you can always check me out on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. And if you have any requests for specific tutorials, then please feel free, just stick them in that comment section below. And I hope everyone has a great weekend and happy sewing.